Let's get something straight. It was the first and the last time either one of you will ever touch my ass again. Are you clear?
Fucking bitch.
They turn so quickly, don't they?
You got that right. Nice piece of ass, though.
I'll say.
Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned trash fire? I'm talking a real fucking dumpster fire. It usually is a result of a company misreading its consumer base, or making decisions that users, or purchasers, seem to be opposed to. But because they know better, that person in authority ends up creating a shitstorm with their misinformation and misguided attempts to direct a community. And that's exactly what's happening right now at R2007scape, a subreddit dedicated to the video game RuneScape. You remember it, right? That's the game that came out before fucking Minesweeper. These people are dedicated in their autism to this fucking game and continuing it on. Well past its due-by date. They will be 80 years old in a future dominated by flying cars and made robots. And they will still be playing this fucking game. They love it that much. So imagine their surprise when somebody decided they were going to create an event without the community's input. No poll. No questions asked to the user base. There's going to be a Pride event. What do you imagine the response to that was? If you said shitstorm, you've guessed correctly. The community was none too pleased with that turn of events. Looking through the numerous topics related to this, you can see the blowback and pushback is immediate, with a majority of people being upset about two key components to this. One, that the community wasn't asked about the content that was being added to the game. And two, they felt it was the insertion of something political into a fantasy game that didn't belong there in the first place. When you read through the comments, it's fucking amazing because the person responding, the person that posted the information about this Pride event in the first place, seems completely oblivious or willfully ignorant to the blowback they're receiving over the issue, stating that they have a majority of the user base on their side, that the player base is really supportive of them, and that the vocal outliers on this subreddit and elsewhere are simply the minority. But you have to ask yourself, in a video game where the word gay is banned, how supportive of a Pride event that user base actually would be. Nevertheless, they decided to push on with it. Just push on with it. Fuck the community. We've got the majority support. We don't even need to hold a poll to know that we are in the right. The funny thing is, the Redditors decided to hold their own fucking poll to see exactly how people felt about it. And surprise, surprise, they were opposed to it. Hell, that's an old number. The more updated one looks like this. A clear, concise answer from the player base simply stating, stop inserting this shit into our fantasy video games. Why are you alienating people that are playing something this fucking old? You can't really afford to piss us off. When you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Nonetheless, they were ignored and the event proceeded onwards. So in protest, they put on some desert robes, which kind of look like this, and decided to counter-protest the Pride event in the video game, resulting in massive bans being issued out to anybody that was opposed to this, even if you didn't show up dressed in desert robes. If you were just simply mocking the event or saying something they didn't like, your account was fucking shit-canned. They've had an account for over a decade. They've played this game that long, and they were banned because they were a little too uppity. They were a little too vocal about how they felt about how this was going down. But what do the gamers know, right? They're just the players that have been faithful to this title for year after year after year after year. Clearly their opinion doesn't matter. We all know that RuneScape is the hottest shit on the internet, and they can afford to piss off their older fan base because all the kids want that RuneScape hotness. Fuck Call of Duty. Let's go play some RuneScape. And I look forward to all the Pride events, even autism awareness, or a Black Pride event in your fantasy video game, because that's where it belongs, in a fantasy video game. Good decision.